Good morning. I'm Greg Lundeen. I've been a member here for about 30 years. Pastor John asked me if I would give a testimony on prayer this morning and share a few of my faith stories. I, like most of you, I assume, know that we do not pray enough. I feel I have three main types of prayer: former prayers, meal prayers, and talking and listening to my Father prayers. I am blessed with a strong faith. When I was about 5 years old, I was riding with my father, Dr. Bob, to the hospital in Tacoma from Federal Way. This road is windy and goes along the cliffs over Puget Sound. That day was very, very foggy. We could barely even see the road. The Lord suddenly told me that we needed to stop immediately and pray. I, a 5-year-old boy, told my father to stop immediately and that we need to pray. My dad was shocked, but he stopped immediately. We prayed for our safety and for guidance. After our prayer, my father got out of the car to look around. He found that we were off the road and only a few feet from going off the cliff. When I was in my late 20s, I had the feeling I would never find the right girl for myself. None of the women I had dated were right for me. I finally gave up and told the Lord that I was going to leave it into His hands to find the right person for me. The next Sunday, I was supposed to meet a friend at St. John Fisher's Catholic Church. I got there. He was nowhere to be found. I sat through the service anyway, during which the priest talked about his wife. I thought, pretty strange. So I looked at the bulletin and saw it was St. Luke's Lutheran Church I was at. I had driven down the wrong driveway. Amazingly, I felt very much at home there, though, with all those Scandinavians and Germans. I decided to attend a young adult Sunday school class the following week. During that class the next week, everyone was talking about going out for dinner after church the following week. Some of the members weren't there that day, and so they needed to be called to talk about or get the dinner information. I volunteered to make the calls. One of the girls I called was the lovely Linda Wolfer. She ended up sitting across the table from me at dinner. She is now my wife. God's choice for me. Thank you. During her first pregnancy, Linda went into premature labor at 25 weeks. Because her amniotic fluid became infected. We were at Good Sam Hospital in Portland when the doctors, after Linda having suffered for 3 days with a high fever and while trying to stop labor to save her baby, told me that they needed to induce labor soon to save Linda's life. They wanted to transfer her up to OHSU in case the baby could be saved in their neonatal intensive care unit. After 3 days with no sleep, I had to take our car up to HSU while she was transported by ambulance. This was about 11 o'clock at night. I got to the parking lot, and as I approached our car, I realized my driving ability wasn't very good. Suddenly I heard a large boom. One of the tires in our car just blew as I was standing out there. I cried to the Lord, "How can you let this happen to me?" I felt the weight of the world upon me. Suddenly I heard a voice say, "Greg." I turned, and it was our pastor whom had just left the hospital room of one of our congregation. He took me up to OHSU and was there with us during that awful time. I know Christ was there also because I was talking to him constantly. We did lose our daughter, but he was able to baptize her. I've also had way too many operations. Christ has always been with me, though, through prayer. We're never alone because the Lord is always there to listen, answer, and comfort us. I am not good at formal praying, but I am sure God is more concerned that I'm talking with him than how well I orate. What I love is talking things over, listening, and feeling the closeness with the Lord. He is a wonderful Father to talk to. So please don't worry that you're not praying perfectly, but please seek to always be in contact with him. Have conversations with him throughout your day. He wants to hear from you. Imagine if your children only spoke to you at formal times. It would seem cold and so distant. Remember, you are very special to him. He showed you how special you are to him by sending his son to save you. Let him know how thankful you are right now by telling him you love him through a silent prayer from your heart. Thank you.